What's good? What's going on with you? How you been taking care of yourself? Back in the confessional, spilling a little bit more truth to you. And well, let me just dive right into it. I just basically want to speak on dependency. And just coming to layer out how I feel on it. And how it's a struggling factor. I mean, who the fuck likes to depend on somebody? I mean, damn. Nobody likes that shit. Because you know what dependency gets? It has to get you to open up to be vulnerable. And nobody likes to be vulnerable. Nobody likes to fucking be vulnerable. I'm not gonna make this video long, by the way. I'm trying to go say what I'm gonna say. Keep it under 30 minutes. But nobody likes dependency. And see, I'm not gonna be a person to bash anything. I'm gonna be coming and giving it to you real. I mean, dependency is ass. That much I can say about it. It's ass and not something that anybody should have to fucking, we shouldn't have to feel the need to depend on somebody else. Being at this, all this shit that we come to be encased in due to our own doing has caused us to all depend on a system that doesn't give a fuck about us. But you see how there isn't all so much negativity behind dependency, because it's the fact that dependency also aligns, it's the positive lining of it is that cooperation, togetherness, being able to have two energies work to come to a compromising outlet of an alike attachment. Now we'll see how dependency, of course, it's a lookout upon us in this fabricated matrix. It's leaning on another and sort of becoming, a rolling occurrence for somebody else, to where we always flood their way for something that we need. And it leaves you to not see where do you stand as somebody that has where do you stand as far as being somebody who offers the necessities your way? Where do you offer your own necessities? Because when you can't see your own necessities, you go and depend on somebody else to bring forth those necessities your way for you to see. You can't pull your own necessities up. You can't pull what you need to pull up from the ground up. Because of how we were lacked to see how the incapabilities that we have to always build for ourselves. Hence the co-creator. Being able to be your own pixelated artist. Pixelate your life the way you want it to be. Never needing to go outside yourself for nothing, because you know you have all the answers to come up with any solution in your life that needs for it to be, taken care of. Solved. Excuse me. So, seeing that We have the answers to our own, to problems that can be solved. We don't know what efforts to take as far as going forth to do so. So we move to this person, we move to that person. We ask for a lending hand and such a sort, to where this can cause operational tears. These can cause afflictions. Because if you're known to ask for help once, for some, that's already a barreling. It's such a a shot for effect. The pride is the ego. And so anytime the ego, the pride, quote unquote, the ego takes a shot, it's bound to be wounded. It's bound to not want to get shot again if it doesn't hear the correct, if it doesn't get the correct tone back towards it in the asking of what it's wanting or needing. So, well, on one end it's that, then it's the other end of how one may take it upon themselves to push forth with help more than once. And a comfortability chain starts. Well, now you're roped into asking more than once. You love to ask, so you keep asking. But knowing every time that you ask, that's a receipt. That's a receipt after receipt after receipt that another person is keeping track of. Excuse me. Ooh. That's another receipt after another receipt that a person is keeping track of. So now you fall under them. You fall under the category to them as somebody that's, asking for more than you can handle. Or they can handle, excuse me. And now you become an issue to them because they just see you as somebody that continuously wants help but don't ever want to help yourself. So this is where we fall into that dependency. You know what I'm saying? We fall into those dependency pants. We fall right into wearing them. And we become somebody else's, we become somebody else's handler. Handle me, take care of me. Now, I brought this topic up because somebody like myself has done and dealt with this in the past. But I'm one of those people who had a prideful issue. So it was like, if I ask for help, if I asked for help and it wasn't well met or well received, I was the type of person that wouldn't ask again. And now even waking up, I understand how important it is awake now with light on the situation at hand. It's not to be somebody who was unconsciously doing it and just pulling away, with me being awake, looking at it from a different perspective. We all have to get out of wanting from others anyway. We have to get away from truly begging for someone to see us. Stop waiting on a moment. Stop waiting to have somebody pull your name out of a fucking bucket. Stop waiting for your ticket to be called. You have a voice. You have 2 legs to stand on like everybody else. See, this is what I see now, is that before, like I said, asking for help, not all the way necessarily bad, because at times we human beings, we have to be we have to have human compassion for one another. Compassion must be there. I must see out to you as somebody, as myself. Whether it be, you know what I'm saying, something small is just, you know, you thirsty, you want some water. Things like those are loving dependencies that we fall under, that looks towards one another to just make sure that the other person is okay. Not falling out of that, but falling into, you know what I'm saying, standing in the open and not making any action, just waiting for others just to do for you. But you just putting yourself out there like, I'm here. Take care of me. I'm right here. Take care of me. Like purposely wanting somebody else to feel sorry for you. And that type of dependency, that type of mindset is harmful to self, harmful to you being able to be somebody to even elevate beyond that. Because that will keep you stuck. It will keep you at a pausing state to where you can't resume. It's not something that we have to understand that right now it's the end times. A lot of constructs are falling. Things are being reset. New orders are being put in place for the good and the bad. But we still do look upon today where the dependency level is still there. It's still moving forward to being done. And being, you know, strongly used on both sides. Now, in a good way, positive way, that people are starting to use, well, how I see dependency being used in my opinion, is that it's being used as a way to, you know, lean towards, you know, your fellow light, of a light to another light, to increase more awareness, strengthen and broaden more awakened souls here, depending on one another to push forward the positive agenda and the truth and the realness and the motherfucking word upon those that are still asleep, to continue to fight for this planet, continue to fight in this spiritual war so that we can see a better day. And then you have the other side, which is the negative, which is everybody still floating around with the buckets on their head, depending on this fucking fabricated matrix to take care of them, which is only leading them further and further down to being sedated and becoming unhumanly recognized, insufficient to artificial AI. We have to, this is a note, this is a message I'm putting out there, because the ins and outs of dependency is very, very harmful. It has been for so long, which is a reason why, you know, until you fully detach away from dependency, there are some things that right now, even awakened people are still You know what I'm saying? We want this construct to be done with, but are people truly detaching? Are they truly not putting their energy towards the dependency of what this fabricated matrix is still rumbling in? Are you not putting your efforts behind the dependency of a home that still wants that will become your prison? The four corners in your house. Do you not see that that is what they're trying to make the prison? And I speak so heavily on materialistic shit because it's not ours in the first place. We are not supposed to be wearing this type of fabric. We wear it ignorantly. And I'm just being real. But it's more than just the material shit here. That is a dependency that we must fall away from. That belongs to them. Bills is a dependency that we must fall away from. That belongs to them. Because if you want that phone, you're going to have a bill that goes with it. Oh, I depend on this phone. I need this phone. So I'll take that bill. So now the people that brought you into this contract, they're depending on you to keep paying that motherfucking bill. Which is their siding of that. They're depending on you to still keep them here. They depend on us. We don't depend on them. This is where this is where the rewrapping must come. We must rewrap ourselves from dependency and put ourselves in the new perspective of dependency amongst the new love order agenda. I'm not somebody to tell you, hey, don't take care of your family. But just heed those that do ask more than what you can handle. Because even family, they're so wrapped under the programming that they believe that they believe in their head because of that title, family, that you are to owe over to them. And that's the thing about dependency. It doesn't have no rules in place. If somebody is to know of you and they put themselves out there, hey, needing you and not worried about getting their pride shot, and they need you as many times as they need you, and if they know that you're gonna always slide through on request of them needing you, they're gonna take it upon themselves to use you in any turn. And dependency don't play fair. It's just not something that plays fair. Because people do get taken advantage of. Hell, I'm being real with you. I was somebody who did this shit when I was unconscious, when I was asleep. I know how it felt to be somebody to get something from somebody. When they would say yes, I would lean in and do it again, hoping that they say yes. But then when I got my pride shot from them saying no, it was like I never went back to them again. You got others out here that still do that willingly today. And it causes more separation. I'm a person who don't look out to others, but I allow the universe to bless me when it does. Going outside of myself now to ask for somebody to do something for me, I'm not afraid to have my pride shot because I don't cater to the ego. So if I did ask somebody for something, I know that if I ask for something for somebody, it would have to literally, I have to go out my way in a way to ask this person to do something for me on a humble level. A level where if you do this for me, I'm going to make sure on everything in me that I make sure to get it back to you. Seeing eye to eye on a situation. Knowing that I don't want nothing. I don't want you to take care of me. Because even if I can't get it, if I can't literally get it back to you, then I don't want it from you in the first place. Now, if you give me something on your own, just know nobody asked you to do that. And I take that as a, I take that as a respect and a mutual, giving on to me universally. Because no energy is always working in strange, profound ways within others. So sometimes the universe is coming through you, through somebody else, and giving you something when you didn't even ask for it. And that's a blessing. So any blessings that come my way, any blessings that drop down on me, I take those. And I always give gratitude back to the universe and thank it. So just keep that in mind, man. Just don't depend on nobody. Do you and stay right with that. I'm out.